This stuff just came to my mind just as I was coming over here, and that's why I don't have it organized. But anyway, once I get started, I'll try to wrap it up. Okay. Anytime. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I just want to, so for the lack of time, I'll go straight to the point on some of our history and what have you. And this is from the Alameda County Court. It says, the undersigned being sworn, so and so, which is me, trespassing and refusing to leave private property. Okay. That's our masjid in Oakland. We went through a lot of different. This is shortly after the charge. We, the jury, find the above entitled cause, find the defendant Clarence Reams not guilty of a misdemeanor, to wit, trespassing and refuse to leave private property. Refusing to leave Masjid al-Islam, which no matter how much paperwork I produced, basically the government wasn't hearing it. Like, for instance, the original deed. Taxes paid, and it has on the front Clarence Reams, Masjid al-Islam, nonprofit corporation. Then it has my mailing address at that time, Clarence Reams, where they mail this. This is from the city of Oakland. This is the deed to the property. Okay. And it's got the stamp on the back. It's got all the, so anybody that wanted to know, once they see this, these things have been presented to the police over and over again. But at the same time, and the police, I was arrested before at the masjid. The whole city knows who the imam is and all the paperwork and everything. But I want to, there was a little incident outside yesterday, and this incident, when you get used to certain things happening, you just kind of cover your bases. So we just want to let anybody know where we stand. Police identify fatal shooting victim found in East Oakland, Terrell Reams. According to that, he was found in East Oakland. He's 23 years old, and he was found at 6:15. Yeah, 6:15. What does it say? No, about 6:20 a.m. on Monday. So that's unmistakable. Terrell, that 23 years old, found shot dead, 900 block, And then, does anybody remember the paperwork I gave them on a call that I got from Oakland? That same night? Yeah. Okay. Now, I got a call from Mukhtar. What day was that? 6:20. 6:21. 6:21. Is found. You found it, yeah. 6:20 a.m. I get a call. There's 3 hours difference in the time. So I get a call from them at, I think the last call, the call to Sister Bahia, we have 2:20 a.m. That's this time. That means if he was shot at 6:20 a.m. Oakland time, how could they be calling here at the latest call was 2:20? Another call had been 2:10. Maybe I was telling them to double check. Then it has Sister Bahia. They called her. She called downstairs to my number, right? That's what's all listed right here. And then I go through my process of finding out what's going on out there. To make a long story short, how would they know somebody shot 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7 hours before anybody else, before the body's found? Okay, that's all right. We just was upset about that. But to this very day, we don't think he was killed. And I tell his father all the time, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. That's why I'm not sweating it, and I don't believe it. You know, unless it was Mukhtar and them trying to make me mad enough to come at them, and I'm under 24-hour surveillance. And if I go and acquire a gun, if I take a gun into a car, if I do anything like that, if I call, if my phone is bugged, if I call someone and or go and see someone, they're gonna check them out. All of that. The reason we adopt the policy of nonviolence, and we call it love and all of that, that's what we call it, is because if you had any other response to the plethora of things that the government do to you, you would be finished like one of our friends. He responded to something in a certain way. Okay, I wouldn't have did it. I won't do it now. Why? Because it's a message directly from them. It's clear where they're coming from. And we have some experience with it. I'm just going to read you a few things. They'll be a little out of order because we just, but these are from some court documents. This is the jury. The jury may hold against the people in Masjid al-Islam or Mr. Mujahid the fact that the defendant was removed at gunpoint or that he was accused of having weapons but had none. Now, I'm a black man. I'm well known by the police department. And Mukhtar and told the people that he's there and he's got guns. So technically, I understand this and I have to carry myself in a certain way till we can get in front of witnesses and all of that stuff. And a lot of times all the witnesses would be their witnesses. Like if they arrange for you to get hit, they arrange who's going to see it. So when you refer to them, they're going to mess your case up. Okay, defendant. This is me. This is the judge talking to me. Defendant. Of course. Yes, sir. The court. You'll be quiet. Defendant. Si, senor. The court. I'm going to call the jury back in. If you speak out of turn, the defendant. Okay. The court. Or show them anything again, like I'm showing stuff, cards, letters, flash, everything. Like pictures, you just showed them. Then it has the defendant, me. Right, the court. And speak out of turn, I will have one or more of these 4 deputies. Now they got a whole courtroom full of deputies. Not one, a whole courthouse full. 4 deputies who have shown up now. They already tried to assassinate me. Now I'm telling them. The defendant, the court, I have right here, they put 1975. It was 1970. In 1975, that's what it says here, but that's incorrect. It's 1970. See, the thing about this, what's right here, everybody knows about it. It was witnesses to all of that. They tried to hit me inside the jail, and so everybody in the jail can see it, Me and Iceman. Okay. The court, wait. I need to know that you're listening. I need to know that you're listening to me, the defendant. I survived 3 attacks by the Oakland Police Department. This is what's just in the court record. I'm putting it there. I'm saying this so it'll be there. Now, everybody already knows this. They could say that didn't happen, but I could go back and check when I want to check something that happened. When George Jackson was killed on the yard, of course I wasn't there. I was overseas. I got when I was with some of my homeboys who was having breakfast, they say so-and-so was there. And they called that guy, was you on the tier when George got killed? Yeah, I was there. And then he's telling me on the phone, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's how my friends are. I'm from Oakland, so what the hell? Everything they do is you can reach out and touch it. You know what I mean? So they're saying they already tried to assassinate me, remove you from the courtroom. 1975, and I'm telling them, of course it was 1970. Then I brought an officer, one of the nice officer, that's just a sheriff, because that's, he's a young, nice guy. I used to see him sometime. And so I had him come down to my federal case, and when the feds questioned him, when he came in the court, the federal court, or he was going to come, he had his Alameda County sheriff's uniform on. He knew that would make you know what I mean? If he's on there as a I represent the sheriff's, it'll make he already knows. He was on, I was on his crew, driving a truck, and we was having plenty of fun out there. Sergeant Sansucci, which hates the dear believer here, came out to the farm with a truck with a pistol on, which, you have to check pistols and all. So he had a pistol on. He's coming to get me, take me out of minimum security and take me over to maximum security, what they called at that time Greystone. Because if I'm out on the dormitories, out in minimum security, you know what I mean, running all around, lifting weights, they can't, it's hard to set you up. But if they got you over at Greystone, and Greystone is one of them old detention centers that's, they have walkways in there, and each cell is covered by wire mesh, and the police can look down on you. It's one of those old Japanese detention camps, California. Anyway, so that's where they would detain them before they sent them to Colorado and wherever they wanted to freeze them to death. Anyway, that's what this is about. The defendant, I survived 3 attacks by the Oakland police. The court, do you understand? The defendant, my name is Big Hank, Abdul Alim, and Clarence Reams, and everybody know it. So don't threaten me, on and on and on. In other words, I'm talking to the court. This is another part of another thing. Content cannot be offered for truth of the matter asserted that Mr. Reams was at one point CEO of Masjid al-Islam, and now Mr. Mujahid is. These are hearsay statements. He fills out a statement, not officials. It looks official to everybody because it has a state stamp on it. So he would go down to the charity office, and you can file a thing, and they'll give you one of those, and you put the board of directors. It's not an official. He tried to use that to get the deed changed, but the deed hey, you can't use that. That's not. That ain't gonna work. All of that was in court. He's trying to get everything changed with the help of the police. They're telling him what to go get. The Secretary of State did not take any specific action on these forms other than filing them. For example, excuse me one second. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, right? What's up? Musa?
Yes.
This is Big Op. How you doing? A school teacher.
School teacher.
Big Op, man, from Compton, man.
Oh, yeah, from Compton. Can you call me back in a few minutes? In about an hour?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. Okay. Anyway, Mr. Mujahid, therefore, this is the court record that's saying that the stuff that he got his name on, anybody could go down and fill out a report and have him put it on. And that's how Mujahid sold the property out there. That other property, don't worry, we'll get it back. It's no big deal because it was illegal. False representation. Actually, we could get him sent to the penitentiary. If we wanted to. I mean, I would send him. Huh? Well, no, he didn't. He didn't get the money because that property that was sold, if the tax was $4,500, a tax for $1 million is about $6,000. So you could $800,000 or $900,000, something like that. That's what I'm imagining. I don't know, but if he had it, him and Khadijah would have been in Rhodesia by now. They would be long gone. They're not the kind that they've never had that. They don't know what it is. And their condition have not changed at all. It ain't like that. They wouldn't. So the police had them do it, but he ain't gave them the money. Them Negroes ain't got none of that money. You think they would still be here harassing and talking out of the side of their mouth? They'd be down in Florida, over in Dixie, they'd be gone. Because what else could they get more than that out of this? But the government uses them so stupidly. They didn't even get a new car. They don't get, and when he got a new car, it was a little bitty car, one of them little bitty cars. They ain't had no money. And then when people like that get money, if they had $1 million in their hand, those days $1 million, they've never seen over a handful of bucks, they would be crazy. They would go crazy. They would go literally crazy. Okay. All right. Then this is my lawyer, I think. Think she's talking to Ms. Vilkin. Are you the owner of this establishment? Yes, I am. Everything you told me is true? Yes, it is. I wouldn't lie to the police. I wouldn't lie to the jury. I'm the owner of this establishment. Now, y'all seen this right here. This is since 1981. I live in the place every time, and everybody know if they want to find me, I live in there sleeping on the floor. And all the work me and my sons did it. There was a little help from other people, but we dug out, put toilets in, we dug the whole thing out, and we hooked it up ourselves. Okay. If you decide that a witness deliberately lied about something significant, in this case, you should consider believing nothing that witness says. He got up here and lied to you. He did. He lied to you. Lied to all of us. He is not the owner. And when the district attorney asked him, why did you say that? I don't know. I don't really know why I said that. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, you shouldn't lie. And definitely not to the police. But we know why he did. We know that years of buildup had come up to this point. He finally wanted to put a nail in the coffin and get him charged. I'm the owner. He's trespassing. In other words, I'm the owner, and he gets it. The police is behind everything. It's already clear. It's so ridiculous. What about a trespassing case? Would you have 12 cars? Supposing somebody was trespassing here right now. Would it be 12 police cars out there with lights flashing at 12 o'clock at night? They wouldn't do that. And so we'll wait till the morning. I'll wait till trespassing. Yeah, we just said. What is so important about somebody trespassing that it takes that the police department, who has been short-handed for years now, would have 12 police cars there? Okay, so my attorney said, well, it's their attorney. Okay, let me see. Let me go on. Did the witness make a statement in the past that is inconsistent or consistent with his or her testimony? The district attorney is asking you to rely on his word alone to convict him and some document he made. The documents they have, they look like they nigger made. You know, like they look like they're nigger made. They just look like there's no evidence at all other than his word that he's the CEO. That's just a statement of information he filed, just like the one that he filed. Okay, Where's the legal proof? Where's the legal proof that he possesses the property? On and on and on. I'm going to get to the stuff that's happening around here, but you'll see the build up to anything. So, are you the owner of this? I think I just read that from him. Yes, I am. He just lied. I wouldn't lie to the jury, and I wouldn't lie to the police. Well, he just lied. That's what the lawyer said. The content cannot be offered for the truth of the matter that Mr. Reams was at one point CEO of Masjid al-Islam and Mr. Mujahid is. These are hearsay statements with no indication of reliability. Both parties, like he would go down and file one of these, and I would see him walking around looking stupid, and so I'd go to Sacramento. Or when I come from Sacramento on Highway 80, I would just stop down there and fill out another slip. You know, just stop in and fill it out because I know he didn't fill one out. Just to be doing it. Then I stopped doing it after a while. I said, it doesn't make no difference. Okay, both parties merely filed these forms. The original form that I filed when I did all the paperwork was gone and missing. I said, where's the original form? Because I had the board of directors, which technically at that time was my sister and brother. I mean, this is just getting out of prison, and I ain't even knew hardly no Musa, maybe a couple. Okay, and they was the police anyway. Secretary of State did not take any specific action on these forms other than filing them. For example, the Secretary of State did not issue a form finding or declaring that either man was, in other words, the Secretary of State just takes a statement and he give you this, if you want to say you're the head of the board of directors of Masjid al-Islam, you can go out there right now and tell them put your name on there. Okay, but it don't have nothing to do. See, this thing here, the deed with the official stuff, they won't change that. And that's where they got stuck. I mean, we had this in court, and the lady come from this office said, no, they came, but we told them you can't change that, unless you get a whole new bill of sale. Sell it to somebody else. Sell it to whoever, and then you can put your name on there. Okay. The jury may hold against the people in Masjid al-Islam, Mr. Mujahid, the fact that the defendant was removed at gunpoint or that he was accused of having weapons but had none. This is important. The police departments around America shoot black people that they even heard had a gun. So I had to carry myself. I carry myself the same way generally with police. I just go, if it's just them and me, okay, just fine. But as soon as the crowd fill up, I go and, hey, man, what's wrong with you? Because there's witnesses now. But I'm not going to be in the backyard, there ain't nobody back there, No. Why? Because I know the police. And with all the trouble they've been going through, phony death certificates, sons and every family beat all upside the head and stabbed and drug away and all of that stuff. That's what we've been dealing with all the time. That's why when the thing happened yesterday, I have a different point. Based on the history. Now, when I talk to people that know this kind of history, they fall right in line. And then now even my family is falling in line. Because anything they object to, I said, well, that happened. Well, did you know that, because they were all in the house and they heard all this stuff. And when I come in, I'm running to them, what's happening? Okay, so technically in my family now, no matter what anybody pretends, they know that what I'm saying is the truth. They've seen enough. They always knew. They always knew. They know that nobody can go, I had bank accounts and nobody could go into bank accounts and it's to help them. And they didn't even bat an eye like, what have I? They never said, oh, what's going to happen when we go and you give us money all the time to go and da-da-da-da. Nobody said that. Of course, they're getting it from somewhere else. Of course. But now they fully woke. Is stuffing tires like this. This poor thing was on 4 flats. This is the masjid in the back. And this is my son is saying, yeah. Now, there ain't nobody around there. Inside, I'm having a program, and Ghalib and Mukhtar is in. And when I come out, you know, them knives that are pretty, I think they call them case knives. You know, they either pocket knife or a little. They're a good, you know, sturdy knife. A lot of people carry them right here on the side. It's either folding but it's a good standard woodsman's knife. So as I come outside, the van is going. I mean, it's going down like the and Mukhtar is just leaving the Mukhtar is over here walking back into the masjid. Ghalib is inside, his homeboy that was maybe distracting me for a minute. And then this is going on. This is when I'd have programs every Sunday out there. But boy, I tell you, it's really nice. When I say this is nice, it's not I'm not here by accident. I mean, all this stuff, don't let me get started about the stuff in Colombia here and there. I already know what it is, you know. And that's why I do what I do. Because if ain't nothing happened yet, it may take another 50 years for them to strike pay dirt. And who cares anyway? I'm 77 years old. Why would I care about these dummies? And I really mean they're dummies. Because when you got a whole system and you got, we've been rolling on this for, I don't know, let me just pop this up. Anybody remember the poets, the last poets? Yeah, the last poets. Masjid al-Islam presents the last poets satirize the enemy, and then da. These are homeboys. These are the original Dar es Salaam people, the original members. You know, what was we saying here over 20 years ago? Oh Allah, protect my father. Right? They're making dua. Effective Death Penalty Act. Counterterrorism Bill of 1996. And then we have all of this stuff. So we didn't just get started on this. Eventually, the government get tired of you. They got tired in Jahiliyyah, and I know it was just luck. It was Allah's hand. It ain't those. You get lucky every now and then, but the Qadr of Allah. Imam Jamil. Who else in the United States raised money for Imam Jamil? Now, some people down the street raised money for him, but it was for their organization. And y'all know who I mean, I'm sure. It was for their organization. Because somebody asked, is this going to Imam Jamil's defense fund? This is going to my organization and I will help. I said, sure you will. Good for you. Great. So y'all know who that means. Okay. Man, this is something. This is the Bank of America. They take $30,000. They let him take $30,000. That's when it was money still in there, and put it in the account he just opened. Then they took it out and put it back. Then they took the whole thing. No, it's fun. Look, we're going to sue the government. Let's start at, what did we say? 300 million? They keep on, we're going to pop it up to 400 million. Because they're bad people. And it don't make no difference. Shoot, we might not even get but 200 million. Because they can't, they doing things that Israelis do. That's what the trap is, see? And that's probably why the FBI was here. They're going beyond what they do. You see what I mean? the FBI. And it's the Zionists, it's in their hands. And they say that technically, that now this is, it's beyond, it's out of our jurisdiction. It ain't us no more. There's nothing, so for us, you can catch a plane and you can do anything you want. And I thought they was lying till I went to the airport. And I just walked on and went about my business. And I said, well, hey, it was good for them. So the other thing is we go, let's see, OPD was dispatched to Masjid al-Islam, to 8210 MacArthur Boulevard, which was the same building as 8208, for a report of criminal threats. I wonder how I'm going to make criminal threats. Information include that suspect Reams had been making threats to take out RP on YouTube video, and that secondhand information placed Reams in Masjid at the moment. Further information said the suspect is known to have guns. This is from the November 13th statement when they roughed the brother up a little bit, but that's all right. Has 2 shotguns in his vehicle and drove from D.C. to Oakland. The part about driving from D.C. to Oakland is true. The rest of it is not true. Okay, when officers arrived, they contacted reporting parties. Saquila Mujahid, wife of victim, you know how they put victim, Mukhtar Mujahid. She informed officers that Reams had been threatening her via social media. Just a simple question. If we're just in the masjid, why do they get to make a statement about somebody made some threats? Did they threaten you right there today? Did they threaten you? Are you in danger? Right? Something like that. Reams, founder of Masjid al-Islam, but has been voted out January 20th. One thing they asked in the original, voted out by who or what? The niggas is slow. They're nice niggas though. And the court is all there. They said, well, how did you get to the masjid? Was it a meeting on a certain such a day, on a Sunday? Yes, it was a meeting. Well, who's conducting the meeting? Mr. Reams was conducting the meeting. Oh, and he was there when you had to vote? No. Oh, when did you have the vote? And then the lawyer asked him a little thing. You know, according to your charter, you have to make a public display of your intentions to meet, to change any bylaw, or to do anything. You have to have an open meeting, a public meeting. Did you have any of those displayed anywhere 2 weeks prior to this meeting? He sounded just like, I sure didn't mean to lie to the police. You shouldn't lie to the police. Anyway, when officers arrived, they reported, this is Mujahid's wife, and Masjid al-Islam had been voted out as of January 20th, 2014. The board of directors had showed the officers a letter. Of course, they typed up a letter. That's what the other lawyer meant. They put chewing gum and stamped a stamp of approval on. This stuff is so tacky. You can imagine how a white attorney would say, used to dealing with sophisticated. This stuff is like kindergarten. It's like, and she was, anyway. Another officer spoke with Mr. Mujahid, who said that Reams had posted videos on social media Now, not to get into snitching, but the stuff they call, and it's all on record here, your father sold you into slavery. You remember that? Anybody remember that? They say anything they want to me. Suppose I call the police that these niggas made fun of me and they did this. I could do it any time of the week because it's on the thing. Anyway, Reams contacted their front door, complied with orders, and was taken into custody with guns drawn without incident. Here, I'm a senior citizen. A search indicates to arrest revealed the missing key on Mr. Reams' keychain. The missing key. I had the key to the door. And it's the missing key. A SWAT team cleared the building, finding no one else. Mr. Mujahid walked the building with OPD and noted that surveillance camera. Remember now, I'm the owner of the property, which everybody knows. But that property, the property down the street, he gets a chance to walk through with the police and say he's, and if I show them the deed, that has nothing to do with anything. So you would imagine that if I see something like stuff happen around here sometime, that I revert right back to this type of thing, because this is the thing that kind of keep, not that anybody want to live forever, but that nobody want to just leave for no reason, right? Therefore, we put this out so that everybody will know if whatever happened yesterday was an arranged situation and I would be the only witness. Imagine how busy this is. I'm the only witness. Well, the two people, they panicking and calling, and one is too calm, and he's, Imam Musa, what do you think, so he's been, Imam Musa, yeah, fine. Sometimes little bitty things you gotta, when you're in the stuff, your nose has to pick up a lot of things that other people might miss. You know what I mean? So why am I doing this today? I'm going over this brief history of some of our encounters with government agents, with police departments. Boy, I wish I'll bring it some other time. The stuff is so ridiculous. When I got the federal case, supposedly I was coming from vacation from Mexico. They said, well, in those days, people carried guns, so I didn't have a gun, but my wife had a gun because we were down in Mexico, and it's just a little make noise and stuff. So it was no laws, you can't carry guns on planes. It wasn't nothing like that. If it was a train or a plane, everybody carried guns, They just did. It sounds funny now, but people did. If you would have shook down 100 people, 10 of them had guns. In the 60s, easy. People carried guns, shoot. And a lot of time they travel, they take a lot of money to their grandmama's house or here or there, they got a gun. Okay, but anyway, so y'all remember it says another officer spoke with Mr. Mujahid, who said that Reams had posted videos on social media stating that he would 187 Mujahid and his wife. I didn't say nothing like that. I said the police was hit. See, you can't rescue nobody. Mujahid and them was already out beyond, they was out there. They need to get rid of them. So why not get me to get rid of them? So they gave me the green light. I was telling them, no, I don't mess around. But the police didn't put out, I know if they didn't let me know. So actually I was saving their life. They don't have enough sense to save their own life. They think the police are nice people and that they're honorable. They think that. Remember what he's saying? I wouldn't lie to the police. I wouldn't lie to the jury. The nigga is a dumb, he believes, you could tell by what it sounds like, he believes in these dumb institutions. I wouldn't show, Lord have mercy. Lord knows I wouldn't lie to the police. Who you wouldn't lie to? Okay. And the jury, all the sense y'all got, Lordy knows I wouldn't lie to y'all. Tell the truth. This sounds like comedy stuff. It is. That's the way I take it, except that I take it as the stuff that deals with life-threatening events. I take it serious because the stuff that happens to your family, it's some of it is real. Okay. So a certain SWAT team cleared. I read this already. Previous arrest of subject with a gun. Wait a minute. Now, this is a lie here. OPD was again dispatched to 8208. En route, advised them that Reams had a prior CO2 602. He threatened not to cooperate next time. Is in an ongoing dispute with Masjid al-Islam members that there was a previous arrest of subject with a gun before as a result of, okay, where's that? You can look at all of my arrests. If I had a gun, I'd be still in jail out there. Right? This is a court document, but it's incorrect. Upon arrival, OPD contacted Mr. Mujahid. Always they're contacting Mujahid. They never contacted me. If I show them the deed, they don't come to me. We don't want to have nothing to do with it. I tell them, and this is all on their little recordings, I say I have $10,000 in there. I said to pay taxes and stuff. I would like to go back and get it off the jail. Actually, I had 11,000. The 10,000 was to pay taxes, and the other was, pocket money, living expenses. So it was technically $1,100. But I could remember the 10. And see, that's all on tape. 11,000. That's all on the, the little tapes they have, whatever they put them in. It's all on there. Hey, I got money in there. When I come back, all the money is gone, gone, gone. Upon arrival. All right, that's enough of that. I think that's enough about. Okay, this is a good statement. Similarly, on November 13th, incident should also exclude. First, while the incident has marginal probative value, any probative value is outweighed by the risk of undue prejudice. The jury may hold it against the people, or Masjid al-Islam, or Mr. Mujahid, the fact that the defendant was removed at gunpoint or that he was accused of having weapons but had none. Now this clears up that stuff the way they said. Excuse me 1 second. Well, I'm just gonna say that. Well, it looked like y'all getting burned and you can't sit still and listen to none of this truth, can you? I guess y'all burning up. Yeah, I plugged you off before you could even say anything. This is a court document, by the way. I can't be making this up. So whatever, and we went over this about 10 times before. I know you're there. Dear Khadijah, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm not going to say nothing harmful. I might say a few things a little hilarious. But anyway, the thing that happened yesterday, which I don't want them to, if y'all didn't hear, I'm not going to tell you your ears is too soft to hear this terrible stuff. But anyway, so you can see why I'm public about, see, one of our strategies is public. One of the main thing they have is they try to make you paranoid, and they make it where you don't share your information because it sounds, a little strange, and people will start looking at you funny. That's not true. Like if you keep building it up and building it up, and if you keep getting record after record, and right? So you can see, they say, what do they say? Get the paperwork, not the paperwork, paper trail, right? This didn't start now. One of the things that was as ridiculous as this was when they set my family up the first time. They had me come down to Mexico to look at some property, a mine. Now the snitch, when my second in command, he was in the federal penitentiary at Lompoc. That time it was the FCI. He said, man, white boy so-and-so is trying to climb the walls, climb the fence, to get a message to you. In other words, they was both in the same prison. But he was in the camp outside, and he was trying to get a message to him about his father-in-law. Because he got a visit from who was his wife at that time. Yeah, Dad just went down to Mexico with Hank, and they da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He knows his father-in-law is a snitch. So all of this is recorded because I have, anyway, look at here. Boy, let me tell you. So my partner that was in the federal pen, he said, man, so-and-so is trying to climb the walls to get to you, to tell you something. By the time he got the word to me, they had sprung the deal. So when I left the country and he was in the pen in Soledad, he's the one y'all might remember some of the correspondence that I had him come down to, I had him come down to LA, and I had the police come, the sheriff, the deputy sheriff. And after that, the federal DA said in the court, anything that they did, anything that the Alameda County or any other police department had to do with him, it's not with us. Our case is clean. That's what he's saying. We got a clean case. But it was a setup too. I'll just be brief on the setup. I'm supposed to be the most popular. You've seen some of the clothes I wear and the cars I drove. I'm probably one of the most popular people in California, at least definitely amongst the Negro community. And I come in from Mexico dressed like so-and-so. And when they look in my wife's purse, she has a pistol. That's normal. So they said, well, we want to check your stuff more. So if my wife got a pistol, right, now you know that the police is going to pat me down. They said, well, we didn't pat him down. And I told my lawyer, that's another thing. But they lied. If I wanted to go back and get them witnesses, they'd have to have, everybody, the plane was loaded with people, they'd have to have a good memory. Did they pat that man down? I don't have to prove it. Everybody knows that's policy. They're not going to find a gun with your wife and you're going to just stroll into the office, right? And they're not going to pat you down, right? And then, so I'd jump up and they thought I was a football player. And then I zipped on out. They got it that they said they found some dope on me. And my wife, they took to jail. And then they went, so-called went back. They didn't go back, but they said, we left the room protected. It was locked. Well, you mean you left something in the customs offices and all that? How many people got keys to that office? They said we found heroin, which I didn't mess with heroin, cocaine and stuff, on her. That we're going to come back from Mexico, the most popular people at that time in that region. And guess what? It was the stuff, it was not smuggled secretly anywhere. It was in a bag that had my hotel, from my hotel, and it had a receipt from the hotel in the bag. I said, boy, I said, I was telling my lawyer at that time, he was a Yahudi, I said, if that was true, they would have to let me off for being a psychopathic fool, right? If any of that was true, right? Then I was under some pressure, psychological pressure. Have to be. If I hide the stuff in a bag with a damn receipt, and anybody, the jury would have known that nigga looked too sharp. He getting money from somewhere, but he ain't that dumb, right? You know what I mean? That's the way this stuff is here. That's what we have learned how to do. Keep on them. They try to wear you down. Keep on they behind, and they start doing stuff that's actually stupid. Really, really stupid. And after they done got 3 or 4 things, now they trapped. They're trapped. That's why we say we don't know about that stuff happened yesterday. Why? Because of the last few programs, those programs hurt them white folks behind, the Jews. Remember I told you Zionists get mad. They're not like the FBI. You got to remember what I said. The Zionist is burning up. So the Zionists will hook that up. We'll just kill the nigga. We can't come over to Southeast and do it ourselves with a swastika on, a Zionist swastika with a Star of David. So we'll set him up. In other words, I've been living this life so long that whatever it is, that didn't look right to me. And that's why we do what we do. That's been, of course you can't protect yourself. Allah got you covered. But you get maybe 1% or less of it, so Allah wants you to use that. If you got any brains at all, Allah wants you have to use the brains you have. It ain't got many, but use them. And now, you got to think about it. We are weighing boss man out. We whooping his behind so bad. He's doing it like like children, you hold him and whoop him. And that's the way the Zionists are hollering, oh, stop whooping me, right? Because of what he's doing. We done said this. We've been leading up to this all the time. We are flyers. they make him mad because we don't respect him. And the way you make them mad, lose their cool, is do that. Yeah, you old dumb Zionist. You can't do nothing. The Negro got 50 times more sense than you do. Why, you are a real dummy. Dummy, 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 dummy. Just like we did, what's the name? You notice we haven't been on one of them programs since, what's the guy in New York? Hannity. And we haven't been over there on the Russian program. Huh? Right, but we haven't been on that in many years. Why? Because the interview with the guy, I said, wherever you sleep, mister, it must be far, I don't know if you saw that one, far, far away. You know, telling him you're the dumbest man in the world. And they don't like that. You can't, and then it's like people will think of you as really dumb. If the world think of them as dumb, then they lose their hold on them. Every time they see a Zionist, they'll start laughing, like they do a Negro. You see a Negro, you just start laughing or dancing or something, because that's what you trained to do. Okay? We're training these people. That's what longevity, that's what over and over and over again, we're training them people. We have trained them. It don't make no difference whether they like it or not. They should have messed with somebody else. They should have messed with somebody else. They're too dumb to accept our offer. They won't do it. We want to help fix the world. We think that it's kind of a lot to do, you know what I mean, without a big cooperative effort. What I mean is, the weather is so bad, the climate is so bad, there's so much plastic in the ocean. Us right here can't go up and clean out the ocean. We can't do all of that stuff. We have to encourage other people. This got too far for that. So we have to cooperate with others. I've seen white folks with very good ideas about cleaning up the ocean, and they're doing it. But they're going to clean up one drop of the ocean. And it's a zillion drops in the ocean. And they don't have the time. The only pressure we're working under now is the time we're living in and the direction that history is going in. You know, it's going a certain way. And it's, well, look at the last few days, how things go. It just, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's everything, now the white folks have found some doggone good God Almighty. We ain't never seen no biology. They lie so bad. Look, and everybody is reminding them that, you know, you're in Yemen now. It ain't us. No. Everybody, see, that's what they throw they punch and they figure they going to knock somebody out. Well, after a while, you're not knocking nobody out. You done got old. You done got your punches is off. You're hitting people on the shoulder instead of on the chin, right? And they done got used to you, and they rolling with the punches and coming back up, and there they are right in your face, whop, and hit you with a hook. That's the way, that's the way it is today. That's the time we're living in. It's just exposed. Technically, we don't have to say a whole lot. Everybody else somewhere is saying exactly what we said, whether we know it or not. But we don't go anywhere and we don't find somebody is there right now talking just like us. So it's not on us anymore. I try to put it this way. You know what we've always talked about the FBI got some good people in them. Well, every department, you think every black guy out here that's wearing that uniform don't know? I mean, enough of them know what's going on. Okay. say in Oakland, you don't never see no white police uh, arresting me, because all the black ones know they can't. Why they don't trust no black people to? As many black policemen as why it's not just. Why they got 12 cars and all of them are white police in Oakland, and probably 30% of the, well, let's say 30, maybe 30% white folks, 30% Mexican, 30% Negroes, and a few Hawaiians mixed up. Why never any black people? Because the record is there. They know we've been a positive. I've had police tell me, oh, they don't. They just slip up. If we're at a big conference or something, they there on their job, monitoring Negroes. And one of the last ones I was at, and some of the people I know very well, when they pick it up. We're very proud of you, and I sit, finished. Because to them, remember, they haven't seen this either. Every nigga that they arrest, that nigga need to be snitched on. You know what I mean? For what they doing. I mean, they chasing all the girls around the corner, or they just stealing, or they like Mr. Crump or Mr. What's the old niggas? That is his name. Crump. Yeah, Crump and what's the old Sharpie and them. And when they see that you're not that, they appreciate it. They appreciate it. First of all, they're amazed because they don't get a chance to see that. So when they see an African American that's really about, it does their heart good. They feel good because they used to be dumb when they was younger. They still are. 8:00. Okay. I'll save all this. The point we have to go out tomorrow. We got about 15 minutes? Okay. What's the name called? Tawakkul. And he got a medical appointment in the morning, but he'll be probably finished, he said, by 11. So, by the way, we need dinero. It's serious. Everybody saw the boxes that we've been bringing in recently, and they're not gonna. Anyway, so we just keep going out. What place would be a good place tomorrow? Like if you could do, huh? Which one? MCC. I didn't call. MCC. Not. What's the name? Not MCC. Why not? We would just have the boxes and what have you. Why not? We didn't have a flyer, a ready flyer. Right. 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 Okay. What we do is, wonder how Gaithersburg would go. Yeah, but they can't do it. I'll just tell them, no, what are you trying to, I'll talk to them, Yeah, that's what I mean. We can be over where they come in, not there in the front, and we could be over on the other side when they're going out. So we'll catch them going out and coming in. Let's try that place out there, whatever it is, out there in Maryland, whatever it is. Yeah, we'll go out there. What time they have Jumas? And do they have more than one? So you'll be able to give khutbah here tomorrow. We'll take Tawakkul, maybe. Does he have somebody else that could go with him? Okay. Well, if he could. So, how does anybody feel about Masjid Muhammad? You think they might be? Right, right. Right. Mostly cab drivers there now. And is the admitted pioneers still there? That's right. That's a shame. Okay. Well, they know about us. Okay. We could leave at 11:30. Okay. Let's say you and I can go out there, and if Tawakkul and the other brother could go. Huh? Yeah, we'd do that. They could do Masjid Muhammad. That's okay. Yeah. We're going to have to educate the people on who we are and what we're trying to do. Uh, that's what we'll do out there. We're gonna make a flyer especially for that. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll try to leave. What time is that first Juma? It starts at 12:30. So we should be leaving here no later than 11:30. And they could leave since it's close whenever they want. Okay. And if they can't get something together by 11:30, we'll take one of them with us. Oh, something like that. Yeah, what the heck. Okay. Thank you very much. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي